Hey guys, my name is Alan Chen. I'm a CPA and the founder of Free Cash Flow Agency, the #1 dedicated accounting agency to e-commerce and online business owners. Today, I want to talk about why this boring thing called bookkeeping should be the most exciting thing in the mind of business owners, because it can literally print money for you if you do it right. I'm going to talk about the 10 ways that it does exactly that for you and your business. Let's get right to it. #1, it creates and identifies write-off you would never know exists. So what great bookkeeping do is it lets you have a framework of what expenses you actually have in your business. And why do these expenses matter? Well, all these expenses take your top line and bring it down to a more reasonable and acceptable taxable income number. And that number you want to keep low as possible, because the lower your taxable income number, the lower your tax bill is going to be. So to give you an example, if your business is making $100,000 this year and you happen to know that you have around, $40,000 in expenses, that's cool. So at the end of the day, that means 100,000 minus 40 equals $60,000 in taxable income. Now say you do proper tax planning and you do good bookkeeping on top of that. The bookkeeping has discovered that, hey, you actually have another $20,000 of deductions that you didn't consider, neither because you took advantage of the tax codes or it's just things that you may have missed because you have sloppy bookkeeping. Now, instead of $40,000 of expenses, you have $60,000 of expenses. That means your taxable income is only $40,000. That $20,000 difference is huge. That usually equates about $6,000 of a reduced tax bill for you possibly. And that is nothing to cough at. Now think about it at a level where you have reached $500,000, $1 million, or even $2 to $5 to $10 million in expenses. Think about just marginally, just a few more percentage of tax deductions can do for your business and how much more money you get to keep, put it back in your pocket. That's something you really want to consider and why bookkeeping is so important. #2, it gives you additional profit when you learn how to read the trending. Let me explain why. When you do proper, clean bookkeeping, you have what we call financial statements. That includes balance sheet, income statement, and your statement of cash flow. When you do proper trendings for your business, you will know as your business is going month after month, year after year, quarter after quarter, how is your business actually doing? Is it trending in the right direction? Is your revenue growth in the right direction? Is your operating cost, is your cost of goods sold in the right direction? Sometimes it's not. For example, Q1 and Q2, your business may be doing really well. You have high operating margin, high profit margin, and everything is swimmingly along. But all of a sudden, you discover in Q3 that everything started taking a tumble. All your margins are going in the down direction. And you're like, what is happening? So for example, maybe in Q1 and Q2, gross profit or your gross margin are hovering around the 60 to 65% mark. That's great. But all of a sudden in Q3, you notice it started dipping 58%, 56%, all the way down to 48%. Oh no, what's happening? First of all, if you haven't done bookkeeping, you probably didn't even realize this was happening in the first place. But since you did do bookkeeping, you can now identify that there are 2 or 3 factors that's contributing to this lower gross profit margin you're looking at. One of the things that's going on is your suppliers has all of a sudden jacked your per unit cost of your product. That's the main thing in your Shopify store. The second thing is shipping has become really expensive. To ship certain products from China has really increased in cost in Q3. And that's actually what's happening in reality too. Third, you discovered that things like packaging and packaging tape and branding, things like that has also gone up significantly in price. And that has driven down your margin significantly. So what can you do now that you know these things? Well, you can proactively tackle the problem. You now realize that these are the things that are ruining your bottom line or your profit margin at the end of the day. So what you can do is you can of course look for other suppliers out there that can give you a better rate than you currently have. You can look for better ways of shipping your product. Maybe if you've been shipping by air, you can consider shipping it by ship, but with another logistic company can give you a better pricing. If your packaging is what's bothering you, well, there are dozens of packaging companies out there that can possibly offer you a lower rate. You see what I mean? By doing good bookkeeping, you are being proactive in your business and helping your business thrive and make sure it doesn't fall into the trap of increasingly decreasing amount of margins for your business. That's something you don't want to see, and that's something you want to catch early. It's almost like anything that you can think of. Catching early is the best way to fix that issue. Next, I want to talk about how doing great bookkeeping gives you the opportunity to sell your business for millions of dollars. Now you may be saying to me right now in your head, Alan, I already know my business is doing so well, of course I'm gonna sell for millions of dollars. Well, there's a difference between a couple millions and tens of millions, isn't there? Let me give you a quick illustration of that. We had a certain client that was eager to sell their business. They have been in the branding and the drop shipping world for the last 2 or 3 years and have grown to a nice 7-figure revenue level. They got a couple offers. One of them was for $1.5 million for their business. And the business owner was so excited. They're like, I'm gonna be a millionaire now. This is so wonderful. Of course I'm gonna take that offer. Now, thankfully, they had me who was able to advise them and take a look at the valuation and what their business is actually worth. We were able to give them a report that actually tells them that, hey, their business is actually doing so well that if you just look at a fair multiple of 2 to 3x of their EBITDA, they should at least be fetching $5 to $6 million for their business. They were shocked when they received that report because they were like, how did you know this? Well, because you've done bookkeeping with me, because I can see your financial reporting, because I can see your trending and where your business has been going. All those things contribute to the fact that you should receive every last penny that you deserve to sell your business. Because let's face it, you put your sweat and tears into it, probably many late nights learning about all facets of how to run your business. You do not want to shortchange yourself at the last minute. The difference between 1.5 to 6 million, well, the easy math is 4.5 million, but that can be a lifetime of money for certain people that they can absolutely retire on. So make sure when you're considering selling a business that you have proper bookkeeping in order before you take that leap. Next, number 4, it gives you a clear understanding of when you will run out of money. That's right, one of the most powerful financial statements is called a statement of cash flow. It gives you a clear depiction of how much cash you actually have in your business that's free. Now, the difference between just simply cash flow and free cash flow is basically twofold. Free cash flow takes into account all the money that you also owe third parties. It's a concept called accounts payable. Basically, if you have money that is actually earmarked to certain vendors, it's just that you haven't had a chance to pay that vendor, that's considered accounts payable. But if you didn't do proper bookkeeping, you probably don't know how much accounts payable or AP you have. Well, knowing that, you may think, hey, by looking at my bank statements, I have a huge surplus of cash. I should start spending it or buy more inventory with it or even taking it out for my personal use. Well, if you didn't understand that you actually need to keep that money in your business to keep it going, all those people that you owe money to, they might be coming after your business, putting your business in collections, lowering your credit rating, and really destroying your ability to borrow in the future. You don't want that to happen to you. And of course, the worst case scenario in all these things I'm talking about is the fact that you may actually just run out of money one day and not even realize it. At all points, you want to know in 1 to 3, even 6 months ahead, how much money you need to keep your business running at a current run rate or current revenue level. Well, knowing these things, it is very dangerous also to withdraw your money out of your business because you may be overdoing it. So always have a clear understanding of how much your cash is actually earmarked for certain purposes, even your tax bill, so that you don't run into a situation where you run out of money for your business. Next, bookkeeping allows you to diversify your revenue sources. Just like the previous point has demonstrated, great clean bookkeeping allows you to say that I actually just need $20,000 a month to run this business and I'll be doing totally fine. And knowing that simple fact is so powerful. It allows you to do things like, say, if you have $50,000 of cash in your bank statement, to take the other $30,000 and use it for other purposes. One could be reinvesting in your business because you want to take on a higher amount of pallet or inventory. Another could be you be using that money to diversify your revenue sources. That can include investing in things like stocks and bonds, cryptocurrency, artwork, antique, or you can also take that money to invest in other businesses around the globe. If you are in, say, the fashion industry, maybe you want look into the fitness industry or the clothing side. If you are only doing Shopify, maybe you want to take an investment in the Amazon FBA business so that you can diversify your risks if Shopify just all of a sudden goes down, right? And you can't make any money off it. You have this Amazon FBA business on the side. Diversifying your revenue sources become more and more important as you take on greater risks of liabilities and greater amount of debt in your business. You want to make sure that if any one business shut down, you have another one that's supporting you. Maybe you decide to put your money into real estate and you have this rental income that you can cash flow every month. That is something that's very smart to do and highly encouraged. So remember to always diversify and mitigate your risk. Next, we want to talk about how bookkeeping gives you the know-how to withdraw your money, owners of the company, while fearing that you're going to run out of money. This theme is very prevalent in bookkeeping, the running out of money concept. In accounting terms, it's called going concern. It means means, do you have any problem of continuing to run your business in the future? Or because of cash flow issues, you might not be able to run your business properly. As a business owner, there may be things you want to pay for with the profit that you are earning, right? There may be bills you have to pay, childcare you have to do, gas, groceries, and all kinds of different things you might need that money for. But you might sit there in constant fear because you could be saying to yourself, I don't know what's the right amount to withdraw from my business. And that's a scary thing. If you don't know, am I okay just withdrawing $5,000 this month, or is that going to cripple my business? Should I actually just withdraw $3,000, but then I might not be able to cover all my personal expenses? All this push and pull shouldn't really be a concern if you do proper bookkeeping. If you're able to read between the lines and read at your numbers, you should quickly be able to say, actually, the right number, $4,500, because I need that $500 to pay certain bills in my business next month. Though that's the kind of knowledge you gain by having good, proper e-commerce bookkeeping done for your business. Next, bookkeeping tells you what categories you are wasting money on. If you have a great profit and loss statement, you should be able to categorize and be able to tell where you're spending too much money on. You can quickly identify things like, oh, actually, I put a lot of my money in paid social media costs. So the next thing that bookkeeping allows you to do is it allows you to look into the future and forecast. And let me tell you why that's important. For an e-commerce business, you never know how long the life of your business is. And the reason you don't know is because you're not actually doing forecasting work in your business. When you forecast, you're looking 3, 6, 12 months ahead to really understand where your business is going to stand in the future. And why is that important? Well, the longevity of business depends on. If you don't know how much revenue you're going to make in the future, if you don't know how much expenses you're going to have in the future, how can you tell yourself how much of your business is going to survive in that 1, 3 to 5 year mark? Next, it tells you your company's strengths and weaknesses. By having clean and good bookkeeping for your e-commerce and online brands, it'll let you know where are your company's strengths and weaknesses. And let me tell you why that's important. By understanding your strengths and weaknesses, you know where you should focus and where to double down and really where to shore up. For example, your company's strength could be that you are just a mass negotiator and you're able to get the best rate and cost for the product that you're bringing in. Or another strength could be that you just have a great and amazing sales team in your agency that are just great closers. And what you really should be doing is making these guys into trainers and managers and bringing in an even bigger sales team so you can close even more costs for your agency. Now on the other side, there are weaknesses. These weaknesses are probably the opposite. There are things like, actually, your cost per unit is terrible. You're actually paying so much for these products that at the end of the day, you're just breaking even on your business. Breaking even is okay for a short amount of time, but if you've been running your business for a long time and you're still only breaking even, that's a big problem. Bookkeeping can proactively let you identify that right away. That's why it's great to do bookkeeping. You can actually SWOT and really understand the strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats in your company. You want to make sure that you have all these under control today, right now, and as your business starts growing. Next, proper, clean bookkeeping gives everyone a peace of mind that you have a strong business standing. Whether it's lenders, accountants, or other investors, you want to give them the peace of mind that you know what you're doing and you know how your business is going to be looking in the current state and in the future state. If it's lenders, they want to have the peace of mind that in the last 2 or 3 years, you guys are trending in the right direction. You are a confident business owner that has the financial astute to know that bookkeeping is important and you're keeping proper books month in and month out. If you're working with an accountant, you want to give them the assurance that you care about your business. You want good bookkeeping and you already started down that path of having some basic bookkeeping in place. That's going to give that accountant the confidence that when they're trying to figure out your tax bill, they're trying to maximize your tax deduction for you. Next, proper and clean bookkeeping allows you to hire employees. By knowing how much extra cash flow you have in your company, where you can afford cash flow, that's going to give you the peace of mind that you're not going to take on too much cost and are able to hire key employees in key areas of business so that you can focus on being a CEO and leader of your company and growing that top line revenue. Hope all these points of why bookkeeping is a money-making machine for your e-commerce online business has really been drilled down in your head. And I know you out there, you're a smart business owner because you took the time to watch this video throughout. You understand that what I'm speaking is the truth. You want bookkeeping ASAP right now. You want to have that in your business because it's gonna help you grow, it's gonna help you maintain your business, and it's gonna make sure that you can sleep peacefully at night every single night that you go to bed. That you're not gonna regret jumping into this entrepreneurial lifestyle because you have done the proper compliance work and you have done the proper homework to make sure your business is in great financial standing today, tomorrow, for months and years and out. I wish nothing but the best for your business, and hopefully everything I've done here explains to you the numerous reasons why you need bookkeeping now. If you have any questions or comments or even disagree with what I'm talking about here, feel free to leave a comment below and we would love to discuss and get back to you. If bookkeeping is something you're looking for immediately for your growing business, feel free to jump on a call with me and we can go over the ways that we can help your business save money today, tomorrow, and forevermore. Anyway, if you have gained some knowledge from this video, we would love it if you can like and subscribe to provide even more value for you in the future, and this will really encourage us to make more videos just like this. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a good day ahead. Alan out.